As you can tell from the title of the video, we're just going to be going through how you can go remove the oil seal on a old IT shock or the equivalent in a DT and other series of bikes, some of the YZs as well, without having to use a shock press. So essentially we've gone through the step of removing the shock, of removing the clip and spring and that sort of thing. There's a spring. So we're at the step where they ask you to fill the shock full of oil and then put it into this press, which of course no one owns. So I'm just going to go through those steps on how I did this without having to go and buy special equipment. In the manual it says to fill it as up to the top as far as possible. If you can't, then what you do is you use the air screw if your shock has it. So now I've got the cap on the top of the tube. So the idea of pressing the shock down is that the hydraulic pressure will pop the seal out. So that's what we're going to do now. Basically, I'm going to use a regular car jack and a strap. Make sure you put the socket on the top so you don't wreck the air bleeder screw.
More?
Yep, oh yeah. There we go.
That's it?
That's it. And as you can see, it just pops right out. The seal you're replacing is the one on the bottom. Yes, people say this is the messy approach, but this is also the cheap approach. Unless you plan on doing this multiple times, it's probably not worth investing the money into a shock press. Putting it together is a bit of a challenge because you have to put the metal seal on the top, which is zoomed in. It has to be pressed in, so make sure that you really clean up the lip before you reassemble it, because I had a challenge with the other shock where it I had to use a lot of force to get it in there. So the cleaner the lip, the easier the reinstall of the new seal is going to be. The trick for the oil seal is you take a piece of saran wrap that you would normally use in your kitchen, and you slide the new seal over it. This way you don't wreck the seal. And then you just carry on down the shock